Could theater be the original media? Of course.
Of course it could. So I'm just going to do...
Should I get this off?
Oh, well.
I don't want any distractions.
No distractions. So I'm just going to read...
Ask the question.
Yeah, I'm just going to read this little intro, and then I'm going to ask them.
Okay.
And I just wanted to email them to you beforehand, so you weren't
Oh,
like...
that's really cool.
Oh, no.
That's really good. I did. I thought about that.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So, ready?
Yes.
Okay. So theater doesn't really fit into the categories that I've created. I have pre-internet and post-internet, and theater, though obviously pre-internet, is kind of pre-everything else as well. It's pre-TV, it's pre-radio, it's pre-newspapers, and I think I could probably make the argument that theater is one of the original medias, if not the original medias. But I thought I'd bring in Joel to talk about this instead. So Joel is a language arts, film, and theater teacher, and so he's a little bit more of an expert on this stuff than I am. So, Joel, what do you think? Could theater be the original media?
I'm kind of old, but not that old to remember firsthand. But it is. It seems pretty primal. It's about ritual and about people coming together and celebrating and experiencing each other's company. And the original theater came out of everyone coming together and then a single speaker coming out of the group and becoming an actor.
Oh.
So it is, and I think there's all kinds of headings for theater. I mean, theater takes different forms. It's sacrifice. It's the mass. It's a spiritual kind of experience. So it has deep roots.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I was kind of wondering, since most of my project is about how traditional media and new media interact, video killed the radio star and then the internet killed the video star, but what effects have technologies like TV and the internet had on media?
Well, I think like
Kind of
any
theater.
other media, yeah. So, would you like to say that again?
Oh, no, it's okay.
I think that like everything in culture, it has to incorporate what is new and current and to survive and to be relevant. And I just happened to be reading a review of a play that's happening in London called Privacy, which is the impact of the internet on people's lives. And can I go into this a little?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So there's when you buy a ticket, most people are doing it through the internet now and charging their tickets. And what they've done in this play is they project all the information they've gotten from your purchasing the ticket on the back of the theater wall, and it has all your information on it.
Oh my goodness.
So it's kind of exposing how much you reveal by making a simple transaction like that. And I think that's a kind of profound kind of experience when you're in a space with a whole bunch of people and they're using their phones in the theater to show how much information they can gather about the audience on the spot, in the moment. And that's always been the power of theater, to give you a powerful hit of what is possible right now.
Yeah, wow, that's incredibly cool. Yeah, thank you for telling me about that. I'm gonna go home and Google it.
Yeah.
So, does theater kind of go in and out of popularity, or do you think it stays pretty steadily popular?
I think it's always happening, and there's always a lot of enthusiasm for theater because it's such a communal experience, and it's so vibrant, and there's a lot of vitality and a sense of working together as an ensemble. But I think we think of it in very conventional ways sometimes, and we think of places like Broadway, which to me are almost becoming irrelevant. It's kind of very commercial, very kind of not as progressive as what I just described.
Yeah.
But theater happens in all kinds of spaces, and in small spaces and big spaces. And I always think it responds to the era, and I don't know, it always has an impact.
Yeah, you were just saying it comes in all these different forms, and how could all of those forms go out of popularity? So how can theater use new media and social media to its advantage? So you just gave that awesome example of kind of like playing with what does privacy mean now in theater. What are some other ways you can think of?
Well, personally, I mean, we have very little facilities here, but we do have projectors. And we use the internet for a lot of reasons, and I wish I was more skillful at that, but people are, and integrating projection into performance and interacting with projections and technology is always a powerful experience. So if you see something on film about the media, you're one step removed from it, but if you're in the theater, you're actually aware and present with those kinds of interactions that take place. And
Absolutely.
there are holograms that people are using on stage now.
Yeah.
And people are interacting with images of themselves, and there's dance performances that incorporate projections of moving bodies with live bodies on stage, which is kind of a whole new rich territory. So,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, kind of limited. Sound,
Oh, yeah.
use of sound equipment and integrating that into performance. Sometimes it's almost too much.
You
It's
think?
like, I've seen performances where the sensory overload is too much for me. Like I feel like I have to close off.
It needs to be a
too
little
much.
bit simpler.
It does. So you need to edit. I
Yeah.
mean, technology. We know how much we need to edit technology in our lives. So it's the same with theater. That's what art is all about: is crafting and editing and being specific and choosing, what to use and how to use it.
Yeah.
That's always what it's been about.
It's only going to get more sophisticated the way we use these new medias in theater.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, thank you so much for doing this quick little interview
Sure.
with me. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, good luck.
We wave at the camera
Yay.
to indicate to editing and Marie that we're done.
Yay!
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Yeah, that was super interesting.